Okay, I'm back. All right. So I think we have Chris in the house who's going to be handling some of the moderation and icebreakers. Um, who else? Veronica Jones. Did anyone else sign in while I was gone? And hey, Yolanda and Anthony.
Hello.
How's it
Hey,
going?
Mary.
Oh, hey, Veronica. We have a Veronica who's now in New York. So she moved to New York. So I guess what we could do is go ahead and do a round of introductions while folks are coming in. Oh, there's Chris. I don't know if you wanted to take this bit, Chris, but.
Yeah, I do. We can do some introductions. I apologize, everybody. I'm still at my office. Didn't quite get away in time yet. So if y'all hear all this noise in the background, that's just me. So yeah, apologize for that. I'm also gonna try and keep this camera up so I can't see my double chin. So let's go like this.
Oh, no worries. Are you in Beverly Hills right now?
Yeah, I am actually.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so let's get into it. Let's get started. Let's see who we got in the room right now. Why is my phone not on? There we go. All right, let's start with Brenda Suarez, since I got you up right there. You want to just hop in and introduce yourself if at all possible?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday again. I'm actually going to be speaking in a little bit, and so I'll do like another intro then. So I'll keep this one short. But I'm a motivational speaker, creator of the Heal Up With Me movement. So shortly, I will be sharing with you what that means. I'm super excited. Thank you, Mary, for inviting me on today. I'm always inspired by everything that you do with all of the groups, and I've gained so much knowledge from everything that I've been a part of. So I'm excited to talk to you all today about unlocking your passion and self-discovery. Stay tuned.
Awesome. And Gab, did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Gabriella? Oh, Gabriella, are you there? All right.
Yes.
Hey, Gab. Yes, I could hear you.
Sorry, I was talking, but I was on mute. I'm currently driving, so there might be some background noise, but I'm Gabriella, also Mary's sister. We founded this group a couple years ago as a way to kind of just take the power back and do something great for our community and support and uplift one another. So very interested to hear Brenda. I've worked with her in the past, and she's an amazing person. So yeah, excited for this meeting.
Awesome. And then Yolanda, did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Yolanda Turner-Smith. I am not on the West Coast. I am in Indiana on Eastern Time, and it's dark outside. So I joined the group probably a few months ago. I attended an event and just excited to be back and ready to learn.
Nice. And Yolanda, did you want to go into the work that you're doing in the aerospace industry? We'd love to hear about that.
Sure. Yeah. So I am an engineer working on military aircraft and leading the team of engineers for some of the next war fighters that we'll see. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting stuff. Well, I look forward to learning more in the breakout room. And so the format for today is going to be, I'll do introductions in terms of the organization for those who are not familiar with it. It seems like everyone is pretty much familiar faces here. Maury, have you been here before? Have you joined us before? Maury Hamilton?
Yeah, sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mari, and I believe this is probably my second session with this group.
Oh, okay. Did you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Mari Hamilton. I am a nonprofit professional down here in San Diego. Currently, my field is mental health and housing.
Oh, okay, awesome. Well, thank you for joining us again. And I know Susan is a familiar face as well. Susan, did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? I haven't seen you in a little bit, so giving you that opportunity.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Well, I've been so busy with
Oh,
different projects and deadlines, but Susan De Los Santos, publisher for the Filipino Press newspaper. So you guys, if you are interested in reaching out to the Filipino community, please give me a ring or give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to assist you and help you navigate the Filipino community and the multicultural community of San Diego. Thank you.
yeah, well, thanks for joining. And then Stephanie, you were our winner last session. I believe the session in July, actually.
Yes.
T-shirt, which I don't know if you saw my LinkedIn message. I need to get that to you. So,
Oh, I haven't seen it yet, but I'll get it. Yeah, sorry, work was crazy, so I couldn't get away to the event last month. But
oh yeah, no worries. And did you want to introduce yourself, Stephanie, since I shouted you out with the
sure. So good evening. I'm kind of multitasking, so that's why my camera's off. But my name is Stephanie. I am a fellow Bruin, like our host here. I'm working on an MBA at University of Redlands, San Diego campus. So haven't been in person in class for like a year and a half, but still trying to get the MBA, and just looking forward to just continuing to meet great people and learn. I'm excited about tonight's topic. Actually, it's really timely. So I'm excited to listen and learn and meet people.
Yeah, and Stephanie, you're a Bruin as well. So Gabriella and I both went to UCLA for undergrad, and I went to grad school. Yeah, I just noticed that on your profile. It's so funny. We connect with folks, and sometimes we don't have a lot of time, but yeah. So that Bruin connection. We should talk offline because I know Gabriella and another alum are trying to do a reunion event. Of some sort. So we need to include you in that. But
yeah, let me know.
Yeah. And so let me introduce myself. A lot of you guys have already met me, Mary Berhane, founder of Mary Consulting Services, where I do social media outsourcing. I also work full-time an organization called Vistage Worldwide. So I connect CEOs and business owners together and get them together in a peer group. And so that's my job. I'm in charge of membership for about 8 different states, but I still work with folks in San Diego on a referral basis. Started this group with Gabriella. Greg is not here, but he was also in the initial conversations when we were talking about getting together and empowering one another. The goal of this group has really focused towards generational wealth, topics around work-life balance. And then the other bit is supporting one another. So supporting minority-owned businesses. We hosted an event at Breakpoint. The owner is actually Korean. And so we had an event there. The goal is to do more in-person events. We did an event last month. It was a soccer event, professional soccer team in San Diego. And so we went ahead and did an event there in person. We're supporting a fellow Mastermind because she's the director of sales there. And so she hosted us at that event. And so on a monthly basis, we're doing these. Next month is a virtual event. We're talking about financial literacy and retirement. But the goal is to shift towards in person. Obviously, it becomes difficult with COVID and all of the craziness going on and off. So without further ado, I did want to introduce Brenda, and then after her session, we'll do a Q&A and then go out into breakout rooms. So Brenda, you have the floor. I look forward to hearing what you have in store for us.
Yes, thank you. I have a PowerPoint. So is it okay that I share that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
So let me know if you have access. So Brenda is a motivational speaker. She's a confidence coach. And then she'll go into her journey a little bit more.
here I am. This was before I went blonde. So thank you again, everybody. It's such a pleasure to be here. I love, again, everything that this group stands for. I'm super inspired. You know, I'm new in the game, and I feel like I soak up all of the information that I've learned through these groups and just through you know, coexisting with you all. So today we're talking about unlocking your passion and self-discovery. Again, I'm Brenda Suarez, the creator of the Heal Up with B movement. It's a spiritual movement. I'm a dance teacher, so I teach dance. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a transformation coach. I'm a lot of different things. And so this movement is basically a big umbrella of me helping you chase liberation and me helping you obtain, you know, that self-discovery and that passion. So I want to talk to you a little bit about who I was before I started to follow my passion and started to get to know myself. So I stand before you having lost up to date 100 pounds, all in just changing my lifestyle, making a complete mind, body, and soul transformation. And in that self-discovery is when I found my passion. So this was Brenda before she found her passion. So I still had that smile on my face, but I definitely identified with being unhappy, feeling as if I was just kind of living like a mediocre lifestyle. And I got to, you know, experiencing depression, experiencing anxiety, and all of these things that kept me small. And I felt like that's what life was about. I felt like, okay, maybe I'm not meant to do anything big. I'm just meant to wake up in the morning and feel okay, and then just go to work and come back and sit on the couch and watch TV and not do many things, right? I had accepted that was my life until I didn't accept it, until I said, you know what, no, this is not my life. I'm meant for so much bigger than that. You know, my journey, my transformation started around 2016. It started with dancing. It started with getting to know myself through dance and getting to know myself through embarking on who Brenda is. Ever since I was a kid, you know, my coping mechanism was dance videos, and just I was a bit of a loner. I didn't have a lot of friends. So the music videos, you know, reggaeton, Daddy Yankee specifically, was my favorite. So I would always be in the living room dancing. You know, I always had rhythm, but I never trained. You know, we couldn't afford to put me into dance classes. So it was just kind of me in the living room. So I tapped back into that in 2016, and I said, okay, like, what am I passionate about? What do I love? So this is Brenda before being blonde. This is the Brenda that found her passion, and the Brenda that liberation, and the Brenda that no longer wanted to be miserable. I no longer wanted to be small and wanted to show up all the way in her full essence. So that's what I'll be talking about for the next 15 minutes or so, just how to do that. I feel like we can talk about this forever. You know, there's so many different tools and strategies that we can use to unlock our passion and to really dive deeply into self-discovery. So I'll be talking about some main things today. First, I just wanted to kind of define passion. So I have my own version, but I was looking at just different people's explanations. And one of the things that I thought was interesting was a question, which is what matters to you so deeply that you're willing to suffer for it. So I feel like suffering is a very like intense word, you know, we don't want to suffer. But what that means to me is, like, what makes you mad? What in the world makes you mad? Is it global warming? Is it youth-centered? Is it woman-centered? Is it men-centered? Is it people-centered? Is it minority-centered? Like, what are the things that you want to change? And just like Steve Jobs said, people with passion can change the world for the better. When we really get to unlock that passion, and when we understand ourselves enough to say, okay, this is my path. This is my alley. My alley is connecting individuals. My alley is being in the STEM field. My alley is being a scientist, a doctor, whatever it is. You know, it's the understanding that we came back for our community. So what we're meant to do, our purpose is for everybody. It's not about one individual. It's for all of us. And I think when I finally understood that me showing up fully as myself and chasing my passion was not only for myself, it was so that I can be that face of liberation for my community. That's when I just hit the ground running. When I would get people to say you inspire me and you motivate me, and you posting these dance videos is really getting, you know, I was 240 pounds and I couldn't do much, but it was just, I kept that, it was a consistency, right? We've all heard that consistency is key. Consistency is success. I just kept going back into that dance studio and looking in that mirror and forcing myself to pick myself apart, dismantle who I was, dismantle the conditioning so that I can put myself back together exactly how I wanted to be. So one of the first things I think is important when unlocking our passion, and when really finding that self-discovery, is our values. What resonates with you? Who are you? What changes do you want to see in your community? If those questions you don't have answers to, it's time to explore. Again, what moves you? What out in the world is going to make you say, I don't like this and I want to be a part of the change. So what can I create? What movement, what business, what nonprofit can I create that's going to help my community? So I love these little graphics. I'll read them out to you. It says, self-love. Don't look for your worth in people or productivity. Speak to yourself with true compassion. Accept what you cannot change. Say no without hesitation. Put your phone down. Know yourself. And then the bottom one says self-love takes patience, acceptance, self-forgiveness, practice, and belief. So this is not something that happens overnight, right? I did not lose 100 pounds overnight. It took me a really long time, maybe like 2 years at most, to really dive deeply into finding the discipline to change my life. And throughout the way, I had to nurture myself. We have to nurture ourselves like we're plants. We have to water ourselves and we have to have compassion for ourselves. There was a reason why I made it to 240 pounds. So I had to figure out where those emotional attachments were. And in finding that out, I realized what my values were and what was important to me. Children are important to me. I work for Big Brothers Big Sisters of San Diego County. It's a youth mentoring organization. I'm an enrollment specialist for that too. So it's the kids in our community are just one of my biggest passions. So I like to do anything and everything that I can do to pave the way for them to lead a successful life. My fellow ladies, I love my women. I can resonate with women. I understand our stories. I understand all of the things that we have had to go through, the things that our wombs carry. So that's why I built this Heal Up with B movement, where I can hold space as a motivational speaker, as a transformation coach, to help other people, but predominantly women, to elevate, to grow, to heal, from all of the generational trauma that we're carrying from our moms, from our grandmas, from our great ancestors. A lot of us are still carrying that on our back. So in order for us to build generational wealth, we have to break generational curses. So that's what one of my biggest values is. I personally don't have children yet. If God willing, I'm able to have some in this lifetime. I want to be able to heal myself as much as I can so that I don't pass down a lot of the things that were passed down onto me. So that's a big value of mine, self-love and community. Next thing, don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that's for me, that has always been a struggle. It still is a struggle today. A lot of us grew up in single parent households or had struggles throughout life that pushed us to not ask anybody for help. My mom, for example, was a single mother. She always had this conditioning and she passed this along to us. You ask nobody for help. You do everything on your own. And if you can't figure it out, you just continue to try to figure it out, but you don't ask anyone. And, that created a lot of independence, but it also created barriers because it became really hard for me to reach out. So please don't be afraid to ask for help in whatever realm that you're in. It's so important to have mentors and to have guides and to have people that you're inspired by, to not be, that's saying like you should never be the smartest person in the room. I wholeheartedly believe that, we should definitely always be sponges and learning. And that's one of the things that really attracted me to Mary, to be honest, like just your passion for what you do and the way that you show up. I'm like, ooh, I want to be like her when I grow up. Just this immense passion and this immense love and just this confidence that you have is amazing. And so that's what I want to create. And those are the spaces that I want to create for my community as well, so that we can face our fears head on. You know, fear really is an illusion, and there is such a bigger picture outside of that once we can pass through that fear. I think one of the most important things with that too is also not comparing ourselves. You know, I started training in dance in 2016. I was 25, I think, at the time. So there was 16-year-olds that were living my dance dream already. And it was really difficult to say, man, like I used to tell myself, I'm late in the game already. You know, in the dance world, 25 is like 65, you know, and 65 is still young though. It's a lot older, you know? So I had to stay grounded in the fact that the reason why my journey is because this is a part of my purpose, and I need to align with that. And in dancing and in teaching others and in holding space is where I started to become a motivational speaker, is where my voice and my story and my journey started to really inspire others. And I said, you know, it's not enough to just teach you movement. I have to teach you how to pick yourself apart and how to discover the inner workings of your soul. So feel the fear and do it anyway. I still get scared. I don't know that there's ever going to be a time that we don't feel fear, but it's whether you confront it and you go and you push through it, or you don't. And either way, I feel like there's pros, there's cons. So you might as well just go forward with it. So don't be afraid to ask for help. That's a beautiful thing about groups like this. You know, we get to share resources. We get to say, hey, you know, I noticed that you were, you know, in this realm, you know, can you help me with this? Or do you have any resources for this? Don't be afraid to do that. We're all super safe and we're all open to help. That's what community is about. And that's what true healing is. Confidence. So as you can see, one of the things that I picked up on in my journey was to become a model. Taking pictures for me was something that really helped me to step outside of my comfort zone. I was never comfortable looking in the mirror. So a part of me finding myself and unlocking that passion was feeling comfortable looking at myself and being happy. And it took a really long time to do that. So I became really passionate about being in front of the camera. I became really passionate about taking a picture and saying, okay, this is who I am. And I may not love it, but this is who I am today. And if I want to change it, I have to chase those passions and I have to unlock that self-discovery so that I can push forward. And now modeling and taking pictures and doing photo shoots is a part of, you know, the way that I heal. So just shameless plug here. I'm also an organic honey seller. So I sell organic honey from Mexico, super good honey. So if you like organic honey, let me know. This photo shoot was centered around my honey. So that's my particular honey that's dripping down my face. So confidence, do you feel alive? What are you curious about? What's the bigger picture? Step outside of your comfort zone. In order for us to really be able to unlock our passion, we have to unlock our passion. In order for us to chase a journey of self-discovery, we have to chase a journey of self-discovery. We have to figure out, I had to figure out this Brenda on the left, what made her unhappy. I had to dismantle all of that. I had to focus on my emotional attachments to food, my emotional attachments to people, to connections, and turn that around and face myself and say, okay, from childhood, I have been feeling XYZ. What does Brenda today have to do to chase that passion that that little girl wanted to do when she was young? And again, it started with dancing and it just developed into this motivational speaker. And transitioned into me being able to hold space for other people to discover themselves. So it's really important to focus on the bigger picture. Sometimes we like to just look at what's right in front of us. And sometimes we just got to look to the right or look to the left just a little bit. And there will be a big window of light that we don't even see because we're so stuck here. So allow all these different things that I have embarked on to be the inspiration for you to just be whoever it is that you are. You know, we're not only meant to just be one thing. We have so many qualities and we can help our community in so many different ways. So what is your bigger picture? That confidence is really important for us to be able to follow our passions and tap into our self-love. So My final note is, what will be your legacy? What will be your legacy? You know, we talk about generational wealth. We talk about passing down things to our kids, to the generations that come after us. What are we going to be passing down? Are we going to pass down generational trauma? Are we going to pass down, you know, not understanding finances? You know, I didn't grow up knowing anything about finances. I'm barely getting into that realm and understanding financial wealth and generational wealth. I want to be able to confidently pass that down to my children. So in following our passion and in following that road, not comparing ourselves, being confident, stepping outside of our comfort zone, getting to know our values and what resonates with us, and what makes us mad about the world, so that we can chase that. What will be your legacy? So again, I feel like we can talk about this for many minutes, hours, to unlock that passion and to really be able to find yourself. But to me, those were the super important points in order to start that journey. If you haven't started it already, I think it's really important to just start with, who am I? Where am I? What am I doing today? Does this really make me happy? And if it doesn't, let's try to figure out what does. So that's my speech for today. Thank you so much for listening. I know I talk a lot. I could talk forever, but thank you, Mary, for everything. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be here.
Incredible. I feel super pumped up, Brenda, and I'm like you too. I'm a fast talker, so but wanted to hear everyone's feedback regarding Brenda's presentation, and then I'm actually going to stop recording on YouTube so that we could have a dialogue and feel comfortable to discuss and talk about our passions. But before I turn this off, anyone have any feedback? And for those of you guys watching, join these sessions so that you will be engaged in the breakout rooms, because sometimes we're here talking a long time, and I'm always like, okay, you know, I know our employers are going to be watching this, so let's close the door in conversation. But just wanted to hear your thoughts before I go ahead and turn it off.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any tools that could be recommended for people who are trying to discover their passion?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's so many different tools, and I think that first tool really is just recognizing where you're at, right? Like meeting yourself where you're at and saying, okay, am I chasing a passion right now? You know, what did I used to love when I was a kid? I think tapping deeper into our inner child is where we really start to discover like what we used to love and what used to make us happy. Joining groups like these with like-minded individuals where we get to talk about these things and give each other feedback. You know, think about the things that really make you happy. Let's say it's dance, for example. So what I had to do was figure out, okay, what dance style do I like to do? You know, researching different studios to see what kind of classes are going to make me feel comfortable. So that was step one. So just really recognizing who you are, where you are, and how to embark on that particular passion. Let's say it's the STEM field. Let's go to, you know, different mastermind groups where people are talking about STEM field related things. So just, I think focusing on the passion itself and then asking questions on how you can continue that journey with that specific topic, I think is the biggest tool that I can share.
Thank you.
So I'm going to turn off the streaming, but just wanted to say the next event is October 20th at 6 p.m. We're going to be talking about financial planning as well, and we'll have 2 guest speakers. So join us there. Visit empowermentmastermind.org to stay connected regarding future events.